Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're going to look at yet another Glenmorangie, just coming off the heels of the Port Cask 14-year-old. This is the Glenmorangie the Lasanta, which is a sherry cask finish, 12-year-old Scotch, ringing in at, it's a Highland Scotch, ringing in at, once again, can barely read it, 40... Golly, I think it says 46, but I don't know. You'll have to look that one up if you really care. I think it's 46%, so 92 proof, potentially. A 12-year-old Highland Scotch, as I said in the last video. Highland Scotch typically isn't my jam. Last one, it was very nice. It was respectable. I enjoyed it. Still not what I'm reaching for. Let's see what the sherry cask. Now, that one was was it La Quinta Reuben. I thought that it was a port cask finish. I thought it would be more sweet and bring a little bit more of that port, like an Angel's Envy bourbon finish type thing. It did not. So we'll see what the sherry cask finish. Now, sherry cask tends to bring some of the dark fruit notes, kind of the I don't know. You can get some prune. You can get some plum. I don't know. I don't know what other dark fruits those are. I guess those are kind of my go-to markers there. Um, so we'll see what this has to offer. A lot of sherry cask finish stuff. Like I can smell the sherry in it. I can taste the sherry in it, which I actually enjoy, as does my wife. It all depends on how it presents and what is all going on with it. So let's see what this Glenmorangie, the Lasanta, brings. And yeah, 12 years old. So 2 years younger than the last one. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, got a little bit on the hand. Give that a rub. Not a whole lot there. Let's see. I'm going to let this guy open up. Maybe it'll present more in the glass. We'll let it warm up just a smidge. Kind of get it swirling around in there. Opened up. I get a hint of malt. The dark fruit. Not sherry itself, but dark fruit definitely. Like a dark cherry, a plum. So I use plum a lot as one of my descriptors, especially in the nose as a dark fruit. To me, I think of like those black plums. In my family, we're Slavic, and we have a tradition in our house that we make what we call slivovitz. Now, slivovitz is a traditional Slavic drink. It's a distilled plum liquor, plum brandy. If you go and buy it in the store, man, the stuff could practically degrease an axle. I don't know what the proof is, but it's typically pretty high proof. If you go over to some of the Slavic countries, ask around a little bit, people are more than happy to share it with you, some of their homemade stuff. When I was over in Croatia, a lot of the hotels in the when they welcome you to the hotel, there'd be a table with a couple hundred cups of slivovitz sitting out with maybe a prune in it. So it's a clear, unaged spirit, typically pretty high proof. I really enjoyed that stuff. The homemade stuff was pretty good, but my family would make what we called the poor man's version of it, and it was not even comparable. It was take a hard, clear, neutral spirit. Typically vodka. I personally use gin because I could find gin cheaper than I could find vodka. By the time the process was over, you could have used either one and you couldn't tell the difference because none of the juniper flavor would come through at all. But you take that, and then you take 3 cups of sugar per 750. Now just let that sink in a little bit. That's a boatload of sugar. And then you take those black plums that you could buy in the store, typically in the fall. And you know, in a 750, maybe you'd get like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 10 plums. And you put it in a jar, you know, like a gallon jar. Dump the sugar in, dump the plums in, and just let it sit. Let it sit in a closet for the next 3 months. And you break it out at Christmas time. It would be this dark, rich purple. All the sugar will have disappeared into the liquor, and there would be no more left on the bottom, and it would be very syrupy. So it's basically a syrupy liqueur that you made with this black fruit, and it was too sweet for that. When I've made it myself, I've cut it back to like a cup and a half, 2 cups of sugar, which is still a boatload of sugar. But where I'm going with that is like that's what when I say black plums, that's what my mind automatically goes to. So when I say plum, it's always a black plum, not an American plum. This dark fruit with dark flesh that I get as a smell, and that's what I'm get. That's what I get out of most sherry cask finished whiskeys. So I get malt, that plum, and not. I mean, there's some sweet notes in there, but it's like sweet malt, a little bit of grain malt. Not a whole lot else. You could convince me there's honey, but it's kind of along the same lines of the sweet malt, maybe a graham cracker kind of a smell. Going in on the taste, bit ethanol forward, fairly thin and watery up front without a lot of flavor. Then an ethanol impact picks up in the middle. And then you get this graham cracker, malt, fruit, sweet finish with an ethanol bite on it. Not a lot of barrel impact. Sherry is the furthest thing from my mind right now. I get no sherry taste. I get no dark fruits in the taste. On the palate, sherry does not come forward. Now, there are different types of sherry. I do not know, and it may say in here what type of sherry cask it is, but my crappy eyes cannot read this tiny little bottle to tell you what style of sherry this was finished in. If it was a clear or a white type of sherry and not the Pedro Menez sherry, I could understand why they'd be a little different. Now, my AC just kicked on, so hopefully my audio isn't going to crap and my noise gate is doing its job. But I'll finish this up. I don't get sherry on the taste so much. Light, watery, thin, switches all to really light, sweet fruit, grainy, graham crackery, apricot kind of notes on the palate. Really switched it up. That's not what I was expecting at all out of this, so maybe I'll need to dive into this and figure out what type of sherry finish is on that, because maybe it's just my fault for not knowing, and so expecting something other than what it is. It is a very nice whiskey. It's just, again, just like the port cask, it's just very different than what I'm looking for in a whiskey. Not bad by any means. Well done. I can happily drink this, but if I'm purchasing things, I'm not purchasing this. So for a 50 milliliter bottle, $3.99 at the Mr. Liquor in Rapid City, South Dakota. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Glenmorangie, what do they call this? The Lasanta 12-year sherry cask finish for in your area, along with any experiences you have with it. I'd be happy to comment and read, and I would like to see what you have to say about it. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Think about sharing this video with somebody who may find it beneficial. And I appreciate everybody who's watching the channel. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say. Hopefully the last 3 minutes haven't been a complete disaster with the air conditioning running in the background. It's the middle of summer, middle of July. It's, I don't know, in the upper 90s right now. Last couple of days we're in the hundreds, so It's plenty warm, so I didn't want to turn the AC off. My boy's upstairs sleeping, and his room's normally in the 80s, and so trying to keep him from dying while we're letting him nap. So there you go. Yeah. Sorry about the air conditioning. You guys have yourselves a great day. Thank you for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next video.